What's up, guys? In this video, we are going to test the Apple Mac Mini. I'm kidding, it is not Mac Mini, but it looks very similar, doesn't it? This mini PC is actually called SOAYAN MN-N5. It runs on Windows 11 operating system and it features an Intel 13th generation Twin Lake N150 processor, 12 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM and 256 gigs SSD storage. We have already tested some mini PCs with Intel N150 CPU on our channel, Tech Brothers, but this one seems to be the most compact. We will talk about the design of this mini PC in more detail and check out its performance in this video, including benchmarks, games, and everyday tasks. Let's start with unboxing. The SOAYAN MN-N5 Mini PC comes in this box. There is only a Mini PC logo on the front, but we can find a sticker on the back with a brand name as well as computer specifications. As I already told you, the Mini PC has an Intel N150 CPU, 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, Wi-Fi and LAN support. When we open the box, we see a greeting card with the word "Hello" written on it. Does this remind you of anything? Apple, of course. Now I have no doubt what inspired the Chinese manufacturer when making this mini PC. Then we have a user manual in different languages. Now we can take the computer out of the box, but we will look at it closer a little later. At the bottom of the box you will find a power adapter, HDMI cable, VESA mount and screws. That's very good. I'm not sure if the unboxing experience is the same as with the Mac Mini, but overall I like it. When it comes to design, let's start with the size and weight of this mini PC. Its dimensions are 88 by 88 by 40 mm. The weight is 192 grams. SOAYAN MN-N5 is a very compact mini PC. Just compare it to my other mini PCs. It is much smaller than them. However, it still has a cooling fan, and we will try to see it when we open the case. I have said many times that this mini PC looks like an Apple Mac Mini. Its front panel with two USB-C ports, a power button and LED indicator is almost the same as a Mac Mini. However, the other sides look different because it has more ports. There are two HDMI and DP ports on the left side, 3 USB ports on the right side, 2 LAN ports, 3.5mm audio jack, and DC in port on the back. You know, this compact mini PC has many connectivity options. You can connect 3 monitors to it using HDMI, DP, and USB-C ports. In addition, this is probably the first mini PC, at least in this price range, that has 2 LAN ports. The bottom of the computer has a ventilation openings and mounts for VESA bracket. You can use this to attach the computer to the back of your monitor. I also see 4 bolts here. Let's unscrew them and see what's inside. So here we see the motherboard and many ports. The only thing we can quickly replace here is a SATA SSD drive. It is made by TWSC company and it has a capacity of 256 gigs. As for the RAM, I don't see it here, so it is probably impossible to upgrade. Okay, now let's finally turn on the mini PC and see how fast it boots up. So my mini PC started up in 24 seconds. You know, this is very good for a budget computer, but the previous 2 mini PCs based on Intel N150 that we tested booted in 15 and 17 seconds. Okay, let's move on. I have a tradition of checking every new mini PCs for viruses and malware, because many Chinese computers come infected. As for the SOAYAN MN-N5, it is clean. My antivirus did not detect any malware. That's very good. As you can see, my mini PC runs Windows 11 Pro, but it can also come with a Linux Ubuntu operating system. In fact, it is sold with Linux Ubuntu pre-installed on Amazon US. If you buy it on Amazon from other countries or on the official website, the mini PC will come with Windows OS. The Windows system is activated and it comes with all official programs such as Microsoft Store, Edge browser, etc. Now let's talk about hardware, and I want to start with storage. As you saw when I opened the case, SOAYAN MN-N5 Mini PC uses a 256GB SATA SSD. However, you can install another drive with a maximum capacity of 2 TB. By the way, in this program, we can see that the SSD uses the SATA 600 or SATA 3 interface. It provides a maximum theoretical data transfer rate of 6 gigabits per second or 600 megabytes per second. Let's check it out. In my case, the read speed is 514 megabits per second and the write speed is 490 megabits per second. The other mini PCs on Intel N150 processor that I tested had different SSD drives, but their speed was about the same, 500 megabits per second. As for the RAM in the SOAYAN MN-N5 Mini PC, we couldn't see it inside, but Task Manager shows that 4 out of 4 slots are in use. So the computer has 4 RAM disks of 3 gigs each, since a total of 12 gigs of RAM is available. You know, this is the first time I have seen anything like this. By the way, here we see the form factor of row of chips. This means that the RAM is built-in into the motherboard and it cannot be replaced. Now let's talk about the main feature of this computer, the 13th generation Intel Twin Lake N150 processor. This is an updated version of the popular Intel N100 CPU with a maximum turbo speed of 3.6 GHz and a typical TDP of 6 watts. The Intel N150 has about 10% higher performance than the Intel N100, and it is also more power efficient. Let's check the minimum and maximum TDP of this mini PC. When the computer is in standby mode, the TDP is only 3 watts. When I ran the stress test, the TDP jumped to 20 watts but then stabilized at 12 watts, so its maximum TDP is about 12 watts. By the way, when I ran the stress test, there was warning about the high temperature. You know, the computer really gets warm, but it is not very hot. There is a cooling fan inside, but it is quite small, because the mini PC itself is very compact. But it is also good, because it is not noisy. You can hardly hear the fan noise at all. It is about 38 decibels in the standby mode, and 39 decibels at maximum load. Now let's run the benchmarks on the SOAYAN MN-N5 Mini PC. So you can watch our other videos about mini PCs based on Intel N150 and see their benchmark results. They are very similar to this. So the SOAYAN MN-N5 Mini PC has a typical benchmark results for its processor. They are not very high, but sufficient for a home or office computer. I also want to play some games on this mini PC, even though it is far from a gaming computer. I installed Steam and downloaded 3 games, such as Asphalt Legends, Dota 2 and World of Tanks. Let's play a little without comments.
Keep up, Sherman.
You know, overall, it is very nice to play these games on this mini PC. I played on low graphics settings, but at maximum resolution of 2K for my monitor. I didn't even have to reduce the resolution to 1080p, so the SOAYAN MN-N5 is suitable for light gaming. However, it is still an office or home computer, so let's check it out for these tasks. If you buy this mini PC for home, you will probably use it to watch videos from streaming services. This computer is very good for that, because you can play 4K videos on YouTube or other websites. Moreover, the mini PC has no problems with multiple tabs in the browser. You can switch between them quickly and smoothly. By the way, I watch these videos on YouTube via Wi-Fi. The wireless connection speed is about 100 megabits per second for download and upload. However, the SOAYAN MN-N5 is equipped with two 1000 megabits per second LAN ports. This is the first mini PC with two LAN ports that I have ever had. This will probably be useful for someone. When it comes to office tasks, you can use the mini PC to write text, create presentation or spreadsheet in Microsoft 365. As for more difficult tasks, such as editing videos in Adobe Premiere Pro, it is generally possible to do, but not for very heavy projects. To my surprise, exporting a 1-minute clip of a 4K project took only 60 seconds, which is a little faster than the previous mini PCs with an Intel N150 that we tested. So let's summarize our review of the SOAYAN MN-N5 Mini PC. Overall, it has a typical performance for its Intel N150 processor. This is sufficient for everyday home tasks, office work, and even simple games. But this mini PC has some features. First, it is more compact than other computers we have tested. It is more convenient to carry around or even install behind your monitor. In addition, its design reminds me of the Apple Mac Mini. I like that. This mini PC also has many ports, so you can connect many devices to it, including 3 monitors and 2 Ethernet cables. The only thing I don't like about it is the non-upgradable RAM. It is soldered onto the motherboard and it cannot be increased or replaced by user. But overall, 12 gigs of RAM is enough for most home or office tasks. Thank you for watching this video. See you soon!